Hello guys, welcome back to Mr. Cloudbook channel. Today is the day 24 of the Kubernetes masterclass, and till now we talked about the pods, replica sets, replication controller, deployments, services, namespaces, stateful sets, and daemon sets. So we completed all, and let's complete the imperative commands also. We already discussed, but so I want to make sure that this is very important for the CKA exam takers. So if you want to take the exam, you need to understand the imperative commands also in a simple way, how to create a simple pod deployment service or like that. So how to see the everything like pods, deployments in a simple way. So we can use the simple commands also. So we need to understand the imperative commands in this video. Okay. So let's go into that particular video. So first command to see the all the nodes running on your system, you have to use this command kubectl get nodes. Okay. So these are all the nodes running on my system. So three control plane. Okay, and three are worker nodes. This is a high availability cluster. Okay. If you want to see the pods, you have to give this command kubectl get pods. Okay. These are all the running pods, and another way you can call it as the kubectl get po. Okay. So not even giving the whole command. Okay. Pods. Okay. You have to give the PO also to get the all pods. Okay. Okay, using a command line instructions to create and update, delete the resources directly is called the imperative commands and imperative approach. Okay, so imperative commands for the pods. Okay, create a pod with a kubectl run. Okay, so if someone asks you in the exam to write that one, so you have to use this one. Okay, so kubectl run. Okay, you have to give that one run, and inside that one you have to use this one. Okay, pod name. So whatever the name you want for your pod and hyphen image and equals to image name here. Okay, so this is the direct command to create a simple pod. Okay, let's try to run one pod. Okay, so kubectl run nginx. Okay, hyphen image equals to nginx. Okay, and you can see that one pod nginx is created now. Okay, let's see the pod. Okay, kubectl get pods. Okay, or you can give pod or pods PO or anything. You can see that nginx just now created. Okay, and create a pod with labels. If you want to create a pod, okay, with the labels, so you have to use this command. Okay, say you can see hyphen show labels. So here this pod has label automatically because this creating automatically. Okay, so that's why we have the labels. Okay, here. So if you want to give the specific label, okay, to your pod, you have to give this command. Okay, kubectl, okay, run my pod and hyphen image equals to nginx. Okay, hyphen labels. I want to add some labels. Okay, so that is within the quotes app equals to nginx, something like aj or anything up to you. Okay, and you can see that. Okay, I forgot to give the equals to here. Labels is equals to, okay, app nginx as enter, and you can see that pod my pod is created. Okay, so let's see the pods again. Kubectl get pods hyphen show labels is the command to show the labels also. Okay, and you can say that this is my pod and label is nginx aj. This is what we use it, right? App equals to nginx aj. So that is the label we are getting. Okay, so if you want to create a pod with a specific command, okay, let me clear the screen, and we have to use this command. Okay, kubectl run my busy box hyphen image equals to busy box. So we have to run the commands also. That's why if you want to create a pod with the specific command, okay, you have to give this one. Okay, busybox hyphen bin, sorry, slash bin, okay, slash bin slash sh, okay, hyphen c. What is the command? You want to make it a sleep for 3600 seconds. Okay, and enter. And you can see that my busybox created. Okay, let's see the pods with labels. Okay, again you can see my busybox it's running. Okay, if you describe, okay, kubectl describe pod. Okay, to see full details of that particular pod, my busybox enter, and you can see that how it's created and everything. And if you see here orgs, okay, So this is the command we use it, right? Sleep 3600. Okay. This is the simple command. Okay. What is the command we used? So kubectl run my busy box image bin /sh -c command. Okay. If you want to create a pod and specify a command, you have to use this command. Okay. This is the command kubectl run my busy box image busy box and space /bin .sh -c sleep 3600. Okay. So if you want to set environment variables, okay, let me clear the screen. So using the simple run command, pod, okay, kubectl run my app. So I want to create an app -image image equals to nginx, okay, -env equals to what? Okay, which environment you want? I want env equals to production. So if you want to add the environment also, you can give this one, okay, enter, and you can see that it's created. Kubectl describe, you have to use my app, okay, because sorry, my app, enter. And if you see here, and you can, maybe we can see it from here, my container storage, yeah, here is there, environment production. Okay, so this is what we use, okay, to create a simple pod with environment using the SQL command. Okay, the command what we used is this one, okay, kubectl run my app -image equals to nginx. And with simple environment, you have to use this one, okay, env equals to production. If you want to add labels, you have to use the labels here, okay, that's it. That is the simple difference for the command, okay. And generate a pod YAML, okay, if you want to, 1 minute, run a pod with the YAML file, okay, I want to see the YAML, okay. At that time, we have to give this one like this, and dry run, add just this one equals to client for everything, okay, and -o YAML, and it will give the YAML format for your pod. Okay, so this is the command, imperative command to directly run. Okay, if you want the YAML file also, just add this one -dry client -o YAML. So if you want in the JSON format, you have to give -o JSON, enter. That's it. That is the difference. In a simple way, you can generate the YAML file also using the simple imperative command by adding this -dry run equals to client -o JSON or YAML format. That is up to you. Okay. So if you want to list all pods, you have to use this command kubectl get po, or you can use pods also, pod. Okay, and you can see pods. See, there are different commands here. You can use anything. Okay, list pods with the wide output. Okay, I want the full detailed output. Okay, so pods -o wide. You have to use the wide, okay, to see full details. Okay, on which node it's running and what IP it's getting, and everything will be seen here properly. Okay, for the full details of your pod. Okay, so list pod with the labels. You can just take one label. Okay, kubectl get pods -label and app equals to, you can call anything. Okay, nginx -aj, and you can say that we can directly get that particular pod. Okay, -l equals to, which is having this label, okay, it will print that particular pod having that particular label. Okay, so if you want to get the detailed information about the pod, you have to use this command kubectl describe pod, and what is the pod? My pod. So pod name you have to give, okay, it will give the detailed information of your pod. Okay, so and if you want to delete the specific pod, okay, kubectl get po to see all the pods, and I want to delete this one, okay, like nginx one. What I will do is I will use kubectl delete, okay, delete pod, and give that pod name nginx. Okay, it's deleted. And if you see again, see nginx pod is deleted automatically. Okay, and if you want to delete pods with a specific label, okay, so I want to delete the pod, okay, delete pod. Instead of giving the pod name, what I will do is I will give label also. Okay, app equals to nginx -aj. So which pod having this label, delete those pods automatically having the label. Okay, so delete pods with a specific label also, you can do it. Kubectl delete pod -l and enter, and you can see that pod. So last time I gave the direct pod name. Here I just used the label only. So this is the use case. You have to use the simple commands also sometimes in the CKA exam. So it will delete the label having that particular pod. Okay. So my pod having this particular label. That's why it's deleted that particular pod. Okay. So these are all for the your simple Kubernetes pod. These are all simple Kubernetes imperative commands. Okay. So I will add in the documentation also. And let's see the imperative commands for the kubectl deployments. Okay. So create a deployment with kubectl create. That is the main command. Okay. To create the deployment, you have to use kubectl create. So what is the deployment? Okay. You want to create deployment, right? So let's give this one deployment and which name you want. Deployment name you have to provide and hyphen image, which image you want equals to engineer. Okay, it's created. You can see that deployment apps is created. Okay, let's check it. kubectl get deploy. So deployment, or you can give deploy also. Okay, see deployment, it's created 11 seconds ago. Okay, nginx, my nginx. I gave the name my nginx here, and you can use deploy also. Okay, my nginx, and create a deployment with labels. Okay, I want to create a deployment. Okay, let's I use again same command kubectl create deployment. I will use my nginx 2 here. Okay, and I image is same. Okay, I want to add labels to that particular deployment. What I will do is, sorry, hyphen labels equals to, what is your label you want? App equals to my app. Okay, enter. Sorry, labels command is not found here. So this is not possible, but you can add directly. Oh, sorry for that one. You can use this one kubectl. Let's try to add label. Okay, deploy. So I want to add a deployment on label. So what is the deployment is this one. Okay, so I'll use this. My nginx is my deployment, and what I want to use app equals to nginx or my app or anything you can use. App already exists. Okay, let's change app one. Okay, because app is already existed. You can see that we can't use like this. Okay, let's see the deploy also kubectl get deploy, and you can see that we have only one, and we are not able to use this one because it's deprecated, I think, and they removed it. So we can label this one. Okay, kubectl label deploy and my nginx, and you can use that one also. Okay, that is the one to label the deployment. And if you want to increase your, I mean, like replicas. Okay, by default it's create one. Okay, you can see that by default it's creating one, right? Okay, let's try to add one more replica. Okay, so I want this one my nginx 2. So I want 5 replicas. Okay, replicas 5, enter. And just you have to use this one kubectl create deployment my nginx 2 image, and you have to add this one just replicas, how many replicas you want. And if you see get deploy, and you can see my nginx 2 have 5 replicas. Okay, 5 pods are running now. Okay, this is a simple example. Okay, either you can scale also. Okay, this is one command, and you can use this one also kubectl scale to increase your pods. Okay, kubectl scale. Okay, deploy, and I want to increase this my nginx to 3. Okay, I will use this one hyphen replicas to 3. Okay, and you can see that deployment my nginx is scale. If you see again, you can see now it's 3. Last time we have 1, and again it's 3. And you can reduce also. Okay, I want to reduce my nginx to 2. Okay, I want to reduce it to 2, and it's again scaled. Okay, let me clear the screen. And if you see the deploy again, and you can see that last time we have 5, now it's reduced to 2. So that is the simple commands to scale up and scale down the deployments. Or you can either use anything, like whenever you create a deployment, use hyphen replicas equals to required replicas, and you can use the scale command also. That is up to you. Okay, so if you want to get the YAML file, okay, so kubectl create a deployment replicas 5 hyphen drive run equals to client hyphen o YAML. Okay, and sorry, I forgot R here, enter. And you can see that with the single command, okay, kubectl create a deployment, and give your deployment name and which image you want, how many replicas you want, and hyphen hyphen dry run equals to client hyphen o YAML. It will give the output in the YAML format. Okay. So if you want JSON, just change YAML to JSON. Okay. That's it. That is the simple command to create the simple JSON format also. Okay. So this is one way. And if you want to set the image, you have to give the command called kubectl set image deployment and my deployment. That is also fine. Okay. Let's see the deploy. Okay. Kubectl get deploy. So I'll describe. Okay. Describe on deploy. I want to see full details. Okay. Which image it's using. So it's using here image using the Nginx. Okay. So I want to set it to some version. Okay. Last time we don't have version. So in order to set the version, kubectl set image. Okay. This is the command to set a specific of deployment. Okay. Kubectl set image deploy. Okay. And what is the deployment name? This is my Nginx, right? Deployment name is my Nginx. And what is the container name? So here container name is Nginx and which image you want. Okay. Equals to I want Nginx colon 1.16, and you can say that deployments my apps image is updated. Okay, we have updated image. Let's see kubectl get deploy, kubectl describe deploy. Okay, let's see it's changed or not. Deploy, it should use image 1.16. You can see that image is updated. You can see it from here also, and you can see 22 seconds, 21 seconds, 15 seconds, because if it's updated the image, new parts will be created. Okay. See, that is what happening here in the events. Okay. So clear the screen, and that is the one way to set the image also. And if you want to update the environment, you have to use the kubectl set env deployment env equals to something value like that. Okay. That is also possible. And kubectl rollout, and we already discussed about in the deployments rollout and undo deployments, right? So if you want to see the deployment history, okay, so you can use this one kubectl deploy history. Okay, I gave the wrong command. Okay, kubectl rollout history comes first, and you can see that there are two deployments, right? Nginx 1 and Nginx 2. That's why it's giving the different versions here. Okay, so these are the deployment histories. We can see it from here also, and we can scale up scale down also easily using the replicas, right? I already explained. Okay, so auto scaling we will talk about in the detailed video, because we need to see the CPU percentage like that, so it will serve. And if you want to see the deployments, you have to use this one kubectl get deploy. Okay, if you want to see the replica sets, you have to give rs instead of deploy. Kubectl get rs replica sets. Okay, so that is how it's used. And for the services, I think we already did this in the old video, but however we will use simple commands. Okay, so in order to expose a simple pod, okay, let's see. So how many pods are running? Kubectl get pods. So I want to expose one of my pod. Okay, so I can do this one. Okay, kubectl expose, or we can expose deployment also. Okay, I want to expose deployment. I will use kubectl expose deploy. And what is the deployment name? My nginx. Okay, so which type you want? Okay, hyphen hyphen type, which type cluster ip, like that you have to provide. Okay, so cluster ip. Okay, I want ip and port 80, enter. And you can see that my service nginx is exposed. And if you see kubectl get svc, and we have the new nginx cluster IP service is created just now. Okay, that is the simple way to create the service, and I will provide all the commands. Okay, I hope you understand this video, and thanks for watching the video, and keep on supporting to Mr. Cloudbook channel.